Hey guys, today we'll be discussing how to conduct due diligence before purchasing a property. You want to make sure you are researching the property. That includes any property, not just land banks. And the key factors include your property conditions, liens, flood zones, and market trends. Thorough research ensures the property fits your investment goals and has no hidden costs. So researching the property includes the property location and zoning. Research the neighborhood. You want to make sure, is it in a up and coming neighborhood or is it in a declining neighborhood? Also, are there any nearby developments or public investments such as schools, hospitals, parks? You want to make sure you are making good investments. Zoning research. That includes residential, commercial, or mixed use. You want to make sure you're knowing what you're buying. Although these properties are cheap, you just don't want to buy anything. So you want to make sure that it's zoned correctly. And if you do purchase a property that isn't, you will have to rezone it. Most times you will have to check with the city to make sure, they approve of it. But zoning will affect how you can use or develop the property. So how do you check the zoning? You want to contact your local zoning office or website. Many cities have online databases, or you can reach out to your city or county planning department. They can confirm zoning classifications as well. The property condition and renovation needs. So you want to almost always, if possible, visit the property or review available photos. Look for obvious signs of damage, structural issues, roof damage, broken windows. You can have somebody drive by there if you're not able to, or go out to take a look at the property. Most times you can pay a realtor or a notary to go out and take some pictures for you. They don't mind as long as they're getting paid. Repair estimates or rehab costs. Consider what repairs or updates will be necessary. You can contact a local contractor for an estimate of repair costs if possible. Sources for the property condition. One thing I like about land bank listings is most of the times they include the photos of the properties that they're listing and basic descriptions. You can also look on Google Maps or Google Street View to see the property surroundings. A lot of time Google Street View may be outdated, so I wouldn't solely rely on that. But like I said, you can have someone go out and take the pictures for you and just review and get eyes on the property. The title search and checking for liens. So how do we do that and what are liens? Liens are legal claims on the property due to unpaid debts such as back taxes, contractor fees, or judgments. Buying a property with unpaid liens can lead to extra costs or legal complications. So you just want to make sure that you are buying a property that is not tied to any legal restrictions at all. How do we check for that? You can contact the title company, which, is a professional title search and a professional way to do things, and the most reliable method. Many land banks will require or assist with this process. You can also reach out to the county clerk's office. Many counties have public records online where you can search by property address, or the tax office. Check with the local tax assessor's office for any outstanding paid property tax liens. If the land bank provides a clear title guarantee, I would just double check with all three of these things or one of these things as far as title company, clerk's office, or tax office, to just verify that there is a clear title. Your flood zone research. Properties in flood zones may require costly flood insurance and have higher risk. Even if a property is not in a flood zone, but by a flood zone, it still may have a potential for having, risk of being flooded. How to check if a property is in a flood zone. You want to visit the FEMA flood map. Go to the service center website. Enter the property's address to determine if it's in a flood zone or not. You'll be able to tell because everything on the website, as far as the flood map, is color coded, and they give a description for what the codes or the colors mean. your local building department as well. Some local governments have more detail on the flood map and the impact in their database on recent events or zoning changes. Flood insurance can be expensive and may affect cash flow or resale value. Some areas have flood projects. Check for planned improvements. Property taxes and special assessments. Why check property taxes? Check the current tax burden and verify if there are any unpaid taxes. Where to find tax information? Your county tax assessor's office. You can usually search by the property's address. Also, bank listings often include details on whether the taxes are paid or need to be cleared. That's another good thing I like about the land bank listings, is because they provide a lot of details for you, but they also want you to do your due diligence as well. The special assessments, are there any extra fees for neighborhood improvements such as sewer, street repairs? These can be added to your annual tax bill and affect your overall cost. Utility availability and condition. So that includes your water, electricity, and your gas. Are they available at the property? How do you check those things? You want to contact the utility company and verify if the property has active connections. Also, the city and planning department, they may provide information on whether the area is undergoing infrastructural upgrades or expansions. Vacant lots may not have utility connections. They may or may not. You need to include this in your cost estimates. Conducting a CMA or comparative market analysis. It will help you determine the potential value of the property once developed or improved. You can find comparable properties, look for recent sales in the same neighborhood that have sold within a year. Check sales prices. Use websites such as Zillow, Redfin, or Realtor to see prices for similar properties. Consider the size, condition, and location compared to your land bank property. Even if your property needs major repairs, knowing that similar properties have sold can help you decide if it's worth the investment. Environmental hazards and other red flags. Check for environmental risks. Properties in older neighborhoods may have lead pipes or soil contamination. How do you research these things? The Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, maintains a database of hazardous sites. Local governments, some local governments keep record of contamination or environmental sensitive areas. Other red flags, such as easements. Are there any restrictions on how you can use the property? And ensure the property has legal access, such as public roads. So we are on the last slide, and all you will need to do now is put it all together. So we went over the location and zoning, assess the property's condition, verify title and look for liens, check for flood zones, review taxes and special assessments, confirm utility availability, conduct a CMA, research environmental hazards. You want to do that all at once, okay? Not at one time, but you want to make sure all of this is done before you actually purchase a property. Because what we don't want to happen is after you purchase, you find out that there are liens on the property. Oh my gosh, you find out all of these things, and why did that happen? That should not happen if you follow all of these steps and you do your proper due diligence. That's what due diligence means. You're doing everything. You know this is a property you're interested in purchasing. You want to make sure you check out all the steps before you move forward with purchasing your property. If you all have any questions, make sure to reach out or drop them down below. I'll be happy to get them answered for you. I will see you guys in my next video.